Do you wonder why our government is full of politicians rather than statesmen? Then stay tuned right now for the Kelli Ward Connection. She's bold, she's fresh, she's fearless. Here now, your host of the Kelli Ward Connection, Dr. Kelli Ward.
I got my high heels on, my boxing gloves. I can knock you out with a 1-2 punch. I'm perfume sweet and whiskey strong. I damn sure ain't no underdog. I might fall down, but I get back up. I shine brightest when the going's tough. You say I can't, well darling, watch me. You can't stop me 'cause I fight like a girl.
Well, welcome back to the Kelli Ward Connection. And yes, I fight like a girl, and I am surrounded by a bunch of women for Trump. And they fight like girls, too, which is why we are going to win. I am Dr. Kelli Ward, your connection to bold, fresh, fearless political talk. Are you ready? Listen up, speak out, make a difference. Let's do this. Now, I got to offer a little disclaimer, and I guess I'll have to do it at the beginning of each and every show since we all know the press might be listening in. We know that because last week I got a call from a supporter who asked me if I'm running in 2018, running for office. And I hope you heard I am running. I'm challenging Jeff Flake for the United States Senate. And it's been pretty exciting all week, I'll tell you that, because so many people are excited to have someone who's willing to challenge the establishment, stop the corruption in government at all levels and on both sides of the aisle. So the disclaimer, we have a lot of guests. We have a lot of callers on the Kelli Ward Connection, and the opinions expressed by our guests and our callers do not always necessarily reflect the opinions of candidate Dr. Kelli Ward. Just a quick FYI. I want to tell the listeners out there and tell these ladies right here. I just got back from an amazing trip, wonderful trip. Mike and I went to Washington, D.C., and we went to New York City. And D.C. was so interesting. Yesterday we were there, and it was deserted. There was almost no one there. I did joke that maybe all the little roaches had scattered during the break before the election, and they were trying to hide from the light that Donald Trump is trying to shine upon them. We got to spend Halloween night in New York City, and that was exciting, interesting, amazing. We dressed up. We walked in a parade with all kinds of New York City people and people from all over the world. One thing I learned was that people from other countries enjoy getting their picture taken with people they don't know. They grabbed us so many times and said, hey, take a picture. So it was amazing. And I am so blessed to have such a great husband and such a great life, really. Now, today we are in for quite a treat. I've got 6 women for Trump in studio with me. You might see some signs if you're watching on Periscope or on Facebook Live. We've got some Trump signs all around, and people are decked out in their Trump gear. And so we're ready to hear from them and why they're supporting Donald Trump and why they think you should too. Now, Wesley Alexander, Wes, should be joining us before the end of the show. I'm not sure because he does have a midterm. He's at ASU and it didn't start until 2:00. I don't know how he thinks he's going to get here that quickly, take a test and get here, but he may be joining us, and I'm sure he's doing great on his test. Now, millennials out there, don't despair. The millennial moment is always part of this show. I want to let you know that whatever you're doing, please do it well. If it's school, be a high performer. If it's work, be a star there. And, of course, the most important part of this show is you, the audience. I will take your calls, and together we'll make the connections that are needed to put this country back on the right track. Again, this is the Kelli Ward Connection. I'm Dr. Kelli Ward, and we are live on Independent Talk, KFNX 1100, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. You can call in now, 602-277-KFNX. That's 602-277-KFNX. 5369. And if you're not in Arizona, you can call in toll free. We do have a toll free number, 866-536-1100. And of course, you can always contact me anytime via Facebook at Kelli Ward for Arizona or on Twitter at Kelli Ward AZ. So, wow. Well, okay, ladies, what do you think about all of these bombshells falling regarding the Clinton campaign, WikiLeaks, the FBI investigation, Donna Brazil? Can you believe what we are finding out in this country every single day? I really am stunned. I thought the Project Veritas videos, the James O'Keefe videos, were revealing. Now, those Podesta emails, they're a never-before-seen window into the corruption of our political system at the highest level, in my opinion. I think that it is exposing things that we have never seen. So-called journalists who are just too cozy with the Democrat candidates. FBI agents leaking in order to stop a criminal from becoming the president. Letters to Congress that the Attorney General warned not to be sent. An Attorney General who takes the Fifth Amendment so that she does not incriminate herself regarding billions of dollars paid in ransom, in my opinion again, to Iran. It goes on and on and on. It is unbelievable. And I think that many people have just shut down. They've simply shut down and shut off. I certainly hope not. I certainly hope not, because the information may be unbelievable, but I think it's just too important to ignore. And it's up to us. It's up to all of us in this room. It's up to all of the people out there listening to make sure that that information gets out there. We can't trust the media to report. There's all kinds of fake news stories out there, too, and news sites that are looking to exploit fears of Americans, rightly, these fears that people have, by lying further, as though the real stories just weren't enough. I mean, I'm going to get to you guys introducing yourself, but just tell me, what do you think? Pat, tell me, what do you think about all of this stuff that's come out?
Well, I think that a lot of people are overwhelmed by it. They don't really understand it all, and they're trying to sift through all this information, and it's a lot of information.
Yes.
But I think it's important we pay attention to it, listen carefully, because this is the worst time in our history with corruption. I knew it was there, but to what extent it was, I am shocked.
Yes, I too. How about you guys? What do you all think, ladies?
Yeah, I think one of our biggest problems, Kelly, is that the media buries things.
Yes.
So the average person, say the average person that's trying to raise a family and busy with her day, she doesn't get a chance to really get involved, and she just takes the headline and goes with it. So our biggest problem, I think, is the media and the uneducated voter.
Oh, I agree. I thought it was interesting. I saw a tweet from Charlie Kirk from Turning Point USA, and he said that there were a group of young millennials, college students, who were trying to put a filter on Snapchat. Now, I don't know if you guys use Snapchat or not, but it's pretty fun, but they wanted to put a filter that said that they were voting for Trump, and they kept trying, and they were denied, and they were delayed, and they were wondering if they were being kept from having that filter. So they tried to make a, hey, I'm voting for Hillary filter, and that one went snap right through. And so, but remember, Snapchat is owned by Twitter, and they are not censoring, right? That's what they tell us. There's no censoring going on. There's no shoving down of what's actually trending on Twitter. What do you think?
Well, that's what I think too. Is people don't want to believe it. They do your own research. If it was one conspiracy or one event, okay, 2, 3, 4, okay. It's day after day. It's WikiLeaks. It's all these things. How can you not at some point open your eyes and do some research and look into it?
Oh, you're exactly right. And I think when you see the things, okay, so you hear Donald Brazil saying, oh, those emails were stolen. How dare you talk about what's inside the email? You hear Hillary Clinton saying, it's the Russians. Look away from the information that's included in all of these Podesta emails and in the WikiLeaks, which are just spectacularly amazing, in the corruption that's exposed in such a raw manner through the Project Veritas videos. You look at all of those things and you think, oh my gosh, how can this be happening? How can it be happening? Okay, so we're going to start winding down so that we don't get cut off right at the end, of the segment. I want to rev up because you guys are very, very special guests, and I hope that people will call in 602-277-KFNX. That's 602-277-5369. And if you are able, get on Facebook or get on Twitter, because we are live on Periscope, live on Facebook Live at Kelli Ward for Arizona on Facebook, Kelli Ward AZ on Twitter. Do not miss out on this next segment. We will be right back with the Kelli Ward Connection on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. Stay tuned. the Kelli Ward Connection. I am Dr. Kelli Ward, your connection to bold, fresh, fearless political talk, connecting the dots and putting things together in the political world. Now, in just a few minutes, our Women for Trump are going to officially join us. But first, I want to play you a little clip of a young woman for Trump. Now, many of you may have been at the Trump rally last weekend, and you got to hear from this young lady in person. This is Faith Graham at the Trump rally.
My name is Faith Graham. I'm a 13-year-old girl. I'm educated, and I support Donald J. Trump. I support Mr. Trump because I want a chance to be successful like my parents, and I believe he will help me achieve my dreams. I dream about going to BYU, being a well-known political news anchor, finding a cute boy so I can get married, and having a wonderful big family. I imagine being happy, being safe, and being free.
Wow. I think that's just amazing. Now, the clip goes on. It's about a 4-minute clip. I'm going to have it up on my Facebook page, Kelli Ward for Arizona, later on today, so you can see the whole clip. But don't you ladies think that that was just amazing? I mean, I can't believe it. When I think about the future, I think that we have to have Donald Trump. We cannot have Hillary. Never Hillary. Never Hillary. I want to welcome you all officially to the show. I'm going to have you go and do a couple of quick introductions. You can say your first and last name if you want, but you don't have to say your last name. Tell me where you're from. Tell the audience where you're from and how you got involved in the political process this election season. We're going to start with 3. In the next segment, we're going to have 3 more.
First, Kelli, I want to thank you for having us on your show.
Hey, I'm excited. Thank you for thinking of it, Pat.
And congratulations. I'm so glad to be supporting you again for running for senator.
Thank you.
I was at that rally. I saw this young lady. She was amazing. She's definitely the kind of a lady we want to represent the Republican Party and Donald Trump.
Yes.
She was amazing. My name is Patricia Pittman. I'm originally from New York, and now I live here in Sun Lakes. And how I got involved, the first time ever to get involved with a political campaign was with Kelli Ward.
Woohoo! Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Kelli is amazing, and we're going to get out, and she's going to win this next election. So at the same time, I started getting involved with Donald Trump as well, passing out signs, getting people to vote, passing out door hangers, and being on Facebook and saying what I think was so great about Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And I think all those things play a big role, and we need to all get out and be talking to our neighbors, our friends, and let's get this done, people.
You're right.
We need Donald Trump.
I see. Passionate women for Trump. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Gina. I was actually invited here by Pat. This is actually the first year that I am very vocal about my beliefs and what I think is right. I think it's what we're called to do. And as long as we speak truth and not get into all the gimmick of everything, it's what we need to do.
Yes. And you all weren't extremely involved in politics before, but I think Donald Trump woke a lot of people up. Now, Yvonne's been involved and been political for a while. So go ahead, Yvonne.
Yes.
Tell us.
Thank you, Kelli. My name's Yvonne Cahill. I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm an immigrant, a legal immigrant.
Woo-hoo,
and one of my big things and reasons why I support Trump, of course, is to secure the border. And I really have trouble with people saying in an election, this is a woman's issue, this is women this, women that, sometimes, because my feeling is, women's issues should be the same as every voter's issues out there. Yes. The number one job of a president is to safety of the citizens. That's not a woman's issue. That should be everybody's issue. Mm-hmm. Another economy, a strong economy, that's got to be everyone's issue. That's not just a woman's issue. So that's why I support Trump. I really think he's the best candidate. He surrounds himself with incredible people. And I think he will be able to build a strong team and a strong America.
Wow, we have got amazing women right here. Yes, we're getting a round of applause in here, too. Hey, we've got some callers on the line, so I want to make sure that we get to them. And I'm going to go first to Larry in Phoenix. Larry, you are brave. You are calling into the Women for Trump, the first man to call in for Women for Trump. What's up, Larry?
Thank you, Kelli. Thank you very much. I enjoy your sense of humor, your your energy. You're just a wonderful woman.
Oh, thank you.
And I hope you beat the pants off of Jeff Flake. If Hillary gets convicted of some or all of the various crimes that she's been accused of, I'd like you to ask some or all of your panel members, what do they think would be a fair punishment if they were on a jury to hand down to Hillary for all her dastardly deeds?
Oh, my gosh. I think that's a great question, Larry. All right. So, ladies, anybody with an opinion as to if Hillary were taken, actually charged with something and taken to trial and you were on the jury and she was found guilty, what kind of punishment does she deserve for all of the dastardly deeds that she has done?
Well, first, we have to know all the facts and that she was convicted. If she's convicted, I truly believe there's not enough punishment for this lady, but I would give her life in prison for all the atrocities she committed against our country and we, the American people. That's how I feel.
And I think that you should have to pay back all that money to our veterans, to people with Social Security, all those kind of things, all the money that was donated.
Yes, and well, she could get our uranium back from Russia,
This is
too.
true.
Don't forget,
Definitely.
maybe we could get that. How about you, Ellen? What do you think?
Well, it's an interesting question because I think if she does win the election, hopefully she will not, but it'll really kind of put us into a constitutional crisis.
Yes.
Yes.
And so it'll be very interesting, what the people think she deserves versus what she will get.
Yes.
And with the corrupt DOJ and the FBI involved and things like that, it'll be very interesting
Right,
to play out.
She could just pardon herself. So that too is a very big concern to me.
That's the scary part of it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, we've got another caller, Susan in Surprise. Susan, are you there?
I am. Hello, Kelly.
Hi, thanks for calling.
Thank you for having me.
So what's up?
I want to make a comment about our borders as well.
Okay.
People have accused me of being cold, and I've heard people say that Mr. Trump is racist. And what I don't understand is, as long as we have hungry and homeless children in our country, as long as we have hungry and homeless and poor medical care for our vets, that the men and women that have fought for our country, we cannot afford to have illegal immigrants coming across our border. We need to take care of our own people. And people say that I don't have a bleeding heart, and I do, but it bleeds red, white, and blue.
I love
want to
it.
take care of our people.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And we all know that if we don't have border security, we don't have national security. And, of course, I am still ready to mix the mortar to fix the border. I was in my first election. I am now. I will be forever because I know we have to have that secure border. I thank you for calling in. We got one more, ladies. Teresa in Casa Grande. Teresa, are you there?
I am here, Kelly. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for calling.
I'm not only a woman for Trump, but I'm a Latina for Trump. There are lots of Hispanics that are in the closet for Trump.
Yes.
And the border is a very important thing. I think what I've been hearing most about with my Hispanic brethren is the fact that the people that are born here, that are legally here, they do like Trump. They're just afraid to come out to be called a traitor.
Yeah.
My cousin, who does not understand politics, she's not even eligible to vote, she wanted to take me to task because she knew I was for Trump.
Yes.
Well, a lot of my other cousins came to my defense saying, well, it is important to secure the border. We know a lot of illegal immigrants ourselves. The funny thing about illegal immigrants is they think that they're entitled to vote.
Yes.
They think that they're entitled because they live here too.
Right. There was just an article in the paper that said that a guy that's here illegally registered to vote. He basically was joking because one of his friends who is allowed to vote wasn't able. And then, he said he signed up online. He did click that he was a citizen, but no one checked. He has a driver's license. He has a social security number, but he isn't legal. And so then he turned it in to the elections department, and they were kind of like, oh, well, why did you do that? So it it is a dilemma because I think that the Democrats are making people who come here illegally believe that they have the right to vote, which is simply not the case.
It's the sense of entitlement that
Yes.
pisses off the other Hispanics. It's the sense of, wait a minute, you're here illegally and you think you're entitled to vote? You're crazy.
Yes.
So I just wanted to let you know that there are a lot of Latina women who do like Trump out there. They're just a little in the closet. Just because they do get the task. Now, I don't care because I'm pretty bold like that.
Yes.
And you actually know me.
Yes,
And when
I
you
know.
when you realize which Teresa I am, you'd be like, oh, no, she'll tell you like it is. but I just wanted to say that out as a Latina woman. There are lots of us. So hopefully,
Teresa,
you know,
I thank you. I thank you. I'm glad there are Latinas for Trump, Latinos for Trump, and people for Trump, because I think it's going to give our country a lot of hope. I thank you for calling, and keep spreading the word out there in your community and all over the place. This is the Kelli Ward Connection. Don't go away. We will be right back. Call us 602-277-5369. Be right back. Ladies right here with me. We are warriors for our country, and I love the way she said that she was the last one of the callers when she said she was a bleeding heart and she bled red, white, and blue. I love that. Now I am, on to shift 2 of my Women for Trump, so I want them to get a chance to introduce themselves, to say where they're from, and how they got involved in the political arena this election cycle. So, Nancy.
I'm Nancy, and I'm from Mesa, born and raised in Ohio, though. And this cycle, I became involved working on Dr. Kelli Ward's campaign.
Woohoo! But you've been active in politics. You're big in Republican women.
Been active for a long time in Republican women. And what really started was about 8 years ago, and it was time to get off the couch and do something instead of yelling at the TV under the last 8 years of Obama. So.
Yep. Anyway, all right. Yeah. Go ahead. You're next.
Hi, my name is Grace Ann, and I'm in Mesa.
For how long?
I'll be here maybe another 3 days, and I'm moving to Texas.
Woohoo!
And this is my first campaign that I've been active with. I went into a Facebook page one day, and somebody made a negative comment about Mr. Trump. And this lady made this comment back to him. Do you know who I am? And I decided I wanted to find out who she was. And it ended up being Tanya Volchevic, the national team leader for Team Trump 2016.
Yes.
This was about 2 weeks after he announced that he was running, and she was already active with getting the Team Trump 2016 pages up and running.
Yes.
And I have been involved with her very closely since then. We're kind of joined to the hip now.
Yes.
So it's been quite an experience.
Yes, but more than worth it, right? More than worth it.
Oh, and
come next Tuesday, I hope it's more than worth it for all of us.
We will be celebrating.
Yes, we will be celebrating.
Hi, my name's Jacqueline Smith. I also live in Mesa, Arizona. I was born and raised in Kansas, lived most of my life there, but in 92 moved to Las Vegas, Nevada. And it was 8 years ago when I had my awakening and I started working on the Ron Paul campaign.
Yes.
I worked diligently for him to get him elected. Unfortunately, we all know what happened at the Republican convention. I won't get into that. But this year, early on, I noticed that Donald Trump was not a bought and paid for politician. Mm-hmm. That is what attracted me to him. He was funding his own campaign. And I was like, wow, that's a really novel thing, funding his own campaign. Well, from then on, I was sold that he is not one of the politicians that is going to sell us out. And with his America First stance, I am sold.
Yes, I love it. I love it. All right, well, okay, so What policy position of Trump's do you most identify with? America First?
I identify with he is not corrupt.
He is not corrupt. I love it.
And not bought and paid for. That's my most important reason for supporting him.
Grace Ann, how about you?
For me, it is his policies on making America safe for us, for our children, our grandchildren, and for our future.
Yeah, I agree. Well, how about this? What's your impression of how the media is portraying this election, Nancy?
Well, they've controlled the soundbite.
Yes.
And as long as we let them control the soundbite, it's going their way, and it's going the way of the Clinton cartel.
Yes. Well, whenever you see how many journalists, and I'm putting it in quotes, you all can't see my air quotes unless you're watching on Facebook Live or on Periscope, but journalists who are so connected with the Clinton campaign who write and say, oh, do you want me to change this quote? Do you want me to add something in? Oh, I'm going to do a story that's going to be so glowing about Hillary.
They should be ashamed.
Yes.
They have lost all their integrity. Why is CNN called the Clinton News Network?
Yes.
I mean, that's it's really true. A joke. It's sad.
Yes, it is. It is very sad. Now, we've got a couple of callers, ladies, so let's take these. Rick on a cell. You could be anywhere,
Yeah.
Rick. Where are you?
Yes, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. And it's actually Ray.
Oh, Ray. I'm just reading the board, but Ray, welcome.
Thank you. Listen, I'm loving your show. Briefly, I was born and raised in San Diego, but I've been in Phoenix for an awful long time.
You escaped from California. Good.
Yes, I did. U.S. Army veteran. I consider myself a patriot. But last but not least, I happen to be Latino. I'm a Latino for Trump.
Woo! All right. I love it. Wait, are there is it just you and Teresa, the only two that are Latino heritage who are for Trump? I think not. not.
No, no one's talking to us. It's just the media has no idea that we're out here.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say though is that I agree with everything all the callers are saying. One thing that I want folks to realize too is that the immigrants themselves, the illegal immigrants, they're so used to what's been happening that they don't realize that there's an option, that there's a future for them.
Yeah.
So you hear this cliche, they're hardworking, which they are. Yes, they're illegal, but they don't know any difference. They don't know the America that we grew up in.
Right.
And so I like that to be a voice that we can get out there. Trump is not paid for. People don't know how to handle him. Everybody's scared.
Yeah.
The establishment is just running scared. I love it.
I do. I think they're so afraid of the light that he's going to shine on them that they would much rather have another fellow establishment member in Hillary Clinton who will just let the people who have been there for decades continue to do what they do and to continue to let the country go downhill. And that's why I'm so excited to have the option of having a new president that's not, as Jacqueline said, bought and paid for. That's an independent thinker that has surrounded himself with good people in his business life and he will in his political life as well. I think it does give a lot of people a lot of hope.
Absolutely. And there's a lot more of us than there are career politicians. So, the establishment is just afraid of people uniting again.
Yes.
We're just out here, all of us are just out here working, trying to raise our families. Most of us support the Constitution like we're supposed, like it was designed.
Yep.
And I'm just excited for this. And I'll tell you what, one of the last things I like to share with the callers is we just need a lot of prayer out there.
Yes.
That's the real power, So
you're 100% right, Ray. I thank you for calling. I thank you for your support. I thank you for the prayers that you're putting up for our country and for the people who lead us. And I hope you'll tune in again next week when we're doing a post-election wrap-up. So I'm going to go to the next caller. We've got a lot of callers, ladies, and you all feel free. Chime in here. Let's go to Cheryl in Scottsdale. Cheryl, are you there?
Hi, Dr. Ward. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. I'm glad I kind of stumbled onto your show. This is awesome. The point that I wanted to call is this is a woman for Trump, and, I'm going to vote for Trump, but, truthfully, I can't say he was my first choice. But, the bottom line is, as women, as moms, I really want to emphasize that we really need to talk to our kids. The problem, I have a 15-year-old, And I guess, the reputation around my friends and people I know as being, a little too political. But I keep telling people, I'm going to talk to my kids. I'm going to be overly political. If they're going to get it from just me, this one side, this one conservative side, this one conservative voice, when they're hearing the polar opposite from social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, school, movies, TV, radio, if I'm the loudmouth that's screaming the conservative point of view from the top of my lungs, I'm going to keep doing it. And I think more moms need to do it. I'm so sick and tired of everybody saying, I don't talk politics.
Yeah, I know. No politics and no religion. I try to talk about politics and religion as much as I can. So I'm glad you are a political loudmouth. I'm glad you are influencing your own children, and hopefully they're influencing some other people's children who might not be as politically connected as you are. Hopefully they're sharing that message with their friends, because that's what's going to save the future of our country, is people like you telling your kids sharing that message, and us coming together to make America great again. I have a couple more callers on the line, but I only have 1 minute left, so I'm going to, JD and Nathan, if you hold, I will come to you after the break, because we are here to make America great again. We are here with some amazing women for Trump, and I look forward to making the connections here on the Kelli Ward Connection. Give us a call, 602-277-KFNX. Don't go away. We'll be right back. And it is already the last segment. Unbelievable. I have got some great ladies in here with me, women for Trump. And we're discussing a lot of things. We've got a lot of callers as well. I'm going to take JD, then I'm going to come back to you guys, then I'm going to go back to the phone. So JD and Chandler.
Dr. Ward, how are you doing? It's JD.
Hey, JD. I'm doing great. What's up?
Congratulations on your decision to go under the assault of running for United States Senator once again.
Thank you.
I wish you would have waited another month. We're so burnt.
Well, it is true, but Senator Flake does so many things, and he just has been relentless in his not representing the people of Arizona. And I just finally got fed up with it and said, somebody has to challenge him. I think he's already running. I actually saw him on the plane on my way to Washington, D.C. He was on our plane. He was in first class. We were not. And, so we did see him. He didn't talk to me. I didn't talk to him. But he's been on the radio with Broomhead. He's been in Tucson doing some things that he hasn't done in 4 years. But suddenly now, he must think it's election time. So
exactly. Yep. And I don't think he has a prayer of staying in office with you running against him. I mean, had you had a little bit more name ID, there's no way McCain would be our senator right now, in my opinion. And I wanted to let you know that, you can come on my program anytime you want. And now that you have your own, that may not be as desirable.
Hey.
But we sure do.
It's always good to get the word out to different audiences to make sure that people know that they do have a chance, and a choice to make a difference.
I also wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for having this Women for Trump program before the election. It's so important, and it's so prescient that you did this, and I want you to know that we love Women for Trump, and we support you 100% in all that what you're doing. And I wouldn't mind if you wouldn't support us too in our program.
Well, yes, we will. I'll get these ladies. I'll tell them all about it. I thank you, JD. I thank you. Now, ladies, now this might be a little self-serving, but I'll be self-serving. What do you all think about Jeff Flake and others who are unwilling to support Donald Trump to be our next president that are, in our party? John Kasich just came out and said that he wrote in John McCain for president. So what do you think?
Well, as an Ohio girl, I'm the people of Ohio deserve better than what John Kasich has done. John Kasich took a pledge, as the others did, to back the nominee, and he did not. And it makes it very difficult when we have our politicians that won't support the ticket, and how can they then expect us to stay unified and support them?
Yes. And how about you ladies? What do you guys think about, about Jeff, about others?
Okay, well, one thing, I'm not a party person. I want to get rid of the political parties because they're a scam, basically. I'm an American. I'm voting for the best person that's going to turn this country around and do what he can. But I think Trump gets a really bad rap in the fact that he is really a uniter.
Yes.
He is trying to bring together all of us, all Americans, and the rest of them aren't doing that. Of course, we're called names deplorables and on and on.
Right. Well, I think the establishment can't stand that somebody from outside their ranks, that's not part of the good old boys club, that's not part of the global tuxedo club, that hasn't been in the back room smoking cigars with them, at least not about, politics, that could actually start to be a leader that people want to follow.
Well, and I think the tipping point's here, because there's a lot of Americans that are no longer going to support a party, Democrat or Republican. I'm one of those. Once Trump wins, I'm going independent. I'm sorry, but I won't support a party.
Well, and I've heard that time and time again from people on both sides of the aisle that are very, very frustrated and are just fed up with party politics, with putting party above principle. Now, so it kind of goes both ways. I do think we need to unite. There's some kind of Twitter campaign out right now that's saying that they're for Never McCain. People think that's me. It is not me. I have nothing to do with it. I don't know who's doing it. That's you? All right. Well, it isn't me.
But as Mr. Pence said today in Mesa, he said it's time for Republicans to come home.
Yes. Yeah. It is. And they have to realize that the Republican Party that actually exists in the United States is not the Republican Party that exists inside the Beltway. Right. Those are two separate things, and the people inside the Beltway have been there for way too long, and they need to certainly reconnect. They could do it via the Kelli Ward Connection. They could connect the dots if they were actually out with we the people. They, might be able to shape up their acts and do a good job.
Democrats need to come to the same realization that the Democratic Party is no longer the party that it was decades ago. My grandfather was a staunch Democrat. Yes. And you know what? There are elderly people voting for her simply because she's a Democrat.
Yes.
That's it.
And they have no idea. They have no idea what's been going on. You're exactly right. All right.
I find a lot of people that say that I'm voting Democrat because that's what I've always done and that's what my family's always done.
It's like in their DNA.
Right. Or people say, I think it's finally time to have a woman as the president. No, not that woman. Not that quote nasty woman. No, we need, it's not time for a woman now. So let's go to Nathan in Mesa. Nathan.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, Nathan.
Hi, Kelly. Nice to speak with you again.
Great to talk to you.
Have you seen that article, that piece that InfoWars and Bev Harris of Black Box Voting did on how they actually steal your vote and shave votes off with fractions using a fraction magic algorithm program?
I haven't, but it looks like Jacqueline has.
I have. Yes, I have.
I mean, that is literally how the president keeps people like McCain and Jeff, who belongs in a box of cornflakes, in power. I mean, that's it. I mean, you don't have to have a USB drive or go break into the room machine. You can actually remote log in from anywhere in the country and go into any county, any precinct, any state, and you can change and you can actually shave fractions. Let's say, well, we'll pitch you against McCain. We'll only say that you only get 34% of the vote, and McCain, regardless of how many votes come in, gets over 60% or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
Well, it is pretty sickening to think about, because I think the integrity of our electoral process has got to be upheld. It starts first with voter identification, but then it starts with making sure that we don't have voting machines that George Soros could control, and that we are really monitoring that process as it goes along. Well, Nathan, I gotta cut it off because I know we don't have much time left. But I've got Alice in Sun City. Hey, hi, Alice.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, great. Glad you're running against Jeff Flake.
Thank you.
I got involved in politics because I was railroaded by a government agency that seems to have no oversight at all, and that's the Board of Nursing. And when you look at them, there's a group of sister wives, and what happens with that group is you have theocracy taking over the government, and that does not fall under the First Amendment or our Constitution. And so,
well, I thank you. I thank you for calling. Are you a woman for Trump?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go to the last caller, Peter. Peter in Mesa. Hi, Peter.
Hi. Thank you for taking on Mr. Flake.
Well,
it'll be a refreshing change and a great breath of fresh air.
I appreciate that.
Also want to say I am totally disgusted with our governor from Ohio. He's a turncoat, and that goes back on his word, and he took the oath, and shame on him.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to say I'm happy for Mr. Trump. I'll be thrilled to vote for someone who respects our Constitution and understands the correct role of the Supreme Court and our Justice Department.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. Thank you, Peter. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for, get out there and get these women for Trump and men for Trump to get out and vote. I liked what Nancy told me that Governor Pence said, friends don't let friends vote alone, right? Friends don't let friends vote alone. Come on, friends, bring your friends to the polls so that we can actually have a victory this election. I'm wondering, we got a question on Facebook. What do you all think about Hillary playing the woman card? That she says she's for women. She's, Nancy, what do you think?
I've worked in a traditionally male-oriented industry for a lot of years, and I never liked anybody that played that card.
Yep. I
worked in the defense business, and I always took a personal affront to that, and I take a personal affront to her playing it in this race.
Yes. Well, I've always been pretty competitive. I have a type A personality. I like to win, but I didn't always want to be the best girl. I wanted to be the best
for the job.
The best. When I was in competition with men and women for residency programs, for different things within medicine, I wanted to be chosen because I was the best, not because I was the best, whatever it was, the box they were putting me in. And so for her to continue to play that again and again and again, when she has been so really anti-woman, is pretty atrocious. So, I can't believe it's the end of the show. Time does fly. Another broadcast of the Kelli Ward Connection is complete. I'm Kelli Ward. I hope you got something from today's show. I hope you got something from these awesome ladies. Thank you, Chet, on the board. Next week we're going to have a complete election rundown. Paul Nalen from Wisconsin will be joining me, as will Rick Shafton. He's a political consultant, so tune in, 3 p.m., Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. I will see you then. Have a great week.